Thanks to the support as a channel member, Ryan Harding. So I've spent the entire £9 million budget. Hello and welcome to Club 2, Part 2 of Not League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have a championship. It is a championship. I can't get my mouth around saying that. It's bizarre. A championship game away against Burnley. And then I'll also show you the Lincoln game in the FA Cup, purely because I would like to show you a win, and I'm not sure we're going to beat Burnley. Since you were last with me, this has been what's going on. We have secured just the one win. It was a very important one as well, and a very convincing one. And we went away to Preston, who are also down in the relegation battle, put 3 goals past them and looked very good. Unfortunately, of the other 6 games we've had since I've been in charge, we've lost 3 and only drawn the 2. So 5 points from my first 6 games. To be fair, if we're at close to a point a game, we probably survive anyway. This is what the league table is looking like. 27 points from 29 matches. We're looking for 50 points, so we'd like to pick up a few extra points here and there. I don't expect it's going to come today against Burnley because they are top of the league. But we do have some debuts today because I have gone out and spent the vast majority of the £9 million transfer budget that I had. There is likely to be more business because I'm likely to be selling some people now. We've started to bring people in, but we have signed 3 players who are yet to play. They are all due to make debuts today, and fingers crossed they start to make a little bit of a difference. Elliot Anderson is signing number 1. He's in from Newcastle, I think he came from. Newcastle for £3 million. He wasn't really playing for Newcastle. He came through their youth system, but has spent most of his career out on loan at other clubs. He spent a season at St Mirren and then Dundee, so a couple of years of experience in the Scottish Premiership. He then did a season on loan at Millwall in the Championship a couple of years ago, and most recently has been on loan at Middlesbrough in the Championship, but didn't actually have a loan for this season, so he hadn't really played this season. Newcastle, weirdly, were relegated but didn't use him, despite all the fact he had his championship experience. I'm assuming they kind of planned to use him, but then didn't. But that suits us perfectly. He's far too good for us, which is why we were happy to spend £3 million on him. He's a central midfielder who can also play as an attacking midfielder. We'll use him in both of those positions at various points, but certainly think he is a massive upgrade on anyone else we had in those areas previously. If we have a look, central midfield, he's comfortably the best central midfielder at the club, and he is or comfortably better than anyone else we had as an attacking midfielder at the club. One of our other new signings has gone past him. That's Ryan Brewster. At 26 years old now, he's a striker who can play anywhere across the attacking midfield 3 as well. We're definitely looking to be using him as a striker, though. Of course, was a youngster at Liverpool. Didn't realise he would ever at Chelsea, but a youngster at Liverpool. Went to Sheffield United for £19.5 million and never scored a goal for them in the Premier League. Wasn't terrible in the Championship. 5 goals there. I'm hoping they weren't really using him as a striker, or else we've got a bit of a problem because he doesn't score lots of goals according to this. I think he'll score a lot of goals for us. But the fact he's got all this Premier League experience, 27 games there, 32, 27, came back down to the Championship, did all right, 9 goals from 12 starts in the Championship. Up to the Premier League, they're not really using him. So they sold him to Bournemouth for £6.5 million. He scored 1 goal from 1 start on a 7.4, and they've not used him since. So we've now offered him £5 million, and he's coming to us from Bournemouth. I think for a 26-year-old with, nearly 100 Premier League games under his belt, who's previously gone for £19.5 million, I think it's a good piece of business. Whether he is the long-term Champions League winning answer, he's probably not, which for a club record signing at £5 million, that might be what Peterborough fans are expecting. But for me, I've assessed the squad, looked at it and thought our defence is good enough. Our midfield just needed a little tweak. What we needed was a Championship quality striker. And such a thing is hard to find in January for reasonable money. So I don't know. I might get a little bit of stick for spending £5 million, over half of our budget, on a guy who's never scored in double figures. But I think he's going to be great for us. And I hope I'm proven correct. And then we have gone bargain hunting a little bit as well. Eric Gallagher is a 20-year-old Irish left winger. He's actually got 1 cap for Ireland already. 3-star current ability, 5-star potential, has been at Bohemians all his career, 115 appearances for them. This season just gone, he's scored 9 goals as well. So able to knock in some goals from that left-hand side. He's a right-footed left winger. He's perfect for the system that we play. And for less than £500,000, I think the bargain of him outweighs possibly overpaying slightly for these. In fact, I don't even think we've overpaid for Anderson and Brewster. I think it's more a case of we've probably paid more than you would like to spend on a striker. We're thinking summer prices there. This is urgent. January, needed someone in on the 1st of January because we needed to start scoring goals. I don't mind paying a little bit extra for that. It is a departure from the club's transfer policy that they've ever done before. But ultimately, the club gave me £9 million to spend. What was I going to do? Not spend it? They said, here's 9 million, keep us in the Championship. So I've spent the 9 million, now I'll keep them in the Championship. To me, it works in my head, and we've still got a little bit of budget left because obviously some of those transfers were on installments, and we've got other players who are going to be leaving as well. So there's likely to be more transfers that you'll see in tomorrow's episode as well. But for now, we take our new look team to top of the table Burnley and hope that the new additions can start making a difference. Brewster's going straight in up front. Gallagher's going straight in on the left-hand side. Anderson going straight in central midfield, where I'm hoping he can make more of an impact than maybe he would there. Plus, I'm thinking Rodoni is going to be my long-term there in the attacking midfield position. He's still injured at the moment after getting injured in yesterday's or Friday's episode. But I'm hoping that we get him back in that attacking midfield role. So this is the team for the game against Burnley. We've got Balcom in goal. After the mistake he made playing as a sweeper keeper, he is now back to being a goalkeeper. The back four is then Ullman, Critchlow, Hughes and Ola Sunday. We're still missing Kitching is out injured, as are Edwards and Simpson. So a little bit light on centre-backs. Having to play Romani Critchlow, which is not ideal because he's never really played for us before. But he's actually come into the team and done quite well on a 7.22. So we might have accidentally stumbled across a star. We've then got Leighton Clarkson and new boy Anderson in midfield. Clarkson and McCormick have both now signed contract extensions as well. So they're certainly players I'm looking to build around long term. So Clarkson and Anderson in midfield, Gallagher, McCormick and Nelson as a new look attacking midfield 3 behind the new boy Brewster up front. Oh, if this doesn't go well, I'm going to look like a plonker for these signings. I am taking a gamble. I sat and mulled it over and decided that rather than waiting and bargain hunting and trying to slowly assemble a team, that can be something that we do in the summer. If we manage to keep them up and I keep in this job, we can worry about slowly assembling a long-term team then. But for now, this January was all about bringing in players who are going to improve us without wrecking the team cohesion and the morale. I didn't want to be bringing in 8 players. I wanted to focus on the areas we needed to improve and improve them with 3 or 4 players. And we've got 3 of the 4 already. Maybe a goalkeeper would be nice, but then I don't know that we need much more for now. This lot either keep us up or they don't. And Brewster on his debut with the assist from Gallagher. Kev's a genius. Oh my word. It's a goal that's cost us £6 million. But my word, for a team that have been really struggling for goals, what an important goal it is. What good football we played there as well. And Gallagher cutting inside, plays it into Brewster, who uses his pace to get past the defender. And there is the finish. It is top of the league, Burnley 0. Peterborough United 1, and now we're down to 10 men, and we're going to lose because of it. So none of that mattered. The important thing is we've seen that the concept works. The idea works. We will now go on and lose because with 10 men, I'm always trash. So I'm not going to be able to defend a 1-goal lead against the best team in the division without a right back for enough time. It's so frustrating. Everything looked like it was going so well. Right. I can't take Anderson off because it's his debut, but he is the one who wasn't fully fit. It would make sense to drop McCormick back and take off Anderson. I can't. Oh, actually, Nelson can play right back. Yes, he can. Nelson can play right back. So I'm going to drop Nelson back there. And then we've still got to take off someone here, haven't we? Still need a right winger. Right. I don't know what to do. Can McCormick play out wide on the right? No. It's not all bad. We'll get back to that in a second, but that doorbell ring was from Peterborough United. It was my new training top. We've gone long sleeve this time. The winter, this is quite thick. Nice little training top and a little pack of 6 pins because they didn't sell them individually. As a Peterborough fan in real life, it's a disgrace that I didn't already own a club pin, but now I do. So after an episode in a bit, we can slap a Peterborough United pin onto the jacket and get back to the correct order of things. There you go. I've blurred the camera by doing it. There you go. We've got our pin as well. Hopefully that will give us luck. Back into the match. So McCormick cannot play. Oh God, no, don't continue. Pause. Right. We're going to have to take McCormick off, aren't we? In fact, Anderson can play right wing. Aha! We have the solution. So if we stick Anderson out there, I think he's right-footed. He's either-footed. That's interesting. We'll play him. We might play him as an inverted winger and have Nelson pushing on beyond him. And by having them both as inverted wingers, it will hopefully lessen the impact of having nobody in the middle in there behind Brewster. This is what we're going to do. This is the answer. This is the advantage of Anderson being as flexible as he is. But, I mean, like I say, still don't expect us to get anything out of this game. We might drop back to a balanced mentality as well as we are playing against top of the league team. That's lovely from Anderson there. Proper crunching piece of midfield play. And now Brewster picks the ball up, plays it back to McCormick. And now Clarkson, who's hovering deep, plays it back to Hughes. And that we've done really well there. That was quality defending. Gallagher now with the flick on, and Brewster's in again from Gallagher, and Brewster's scored again. Somehow it's his first goal of the season. I think this one's being disallowed. It has been disallowed. But I tell you what, Brewster is looking like a £5 million striker already. If this is how he's going to play for us throughout his Peterborough United career, we need to re-record all of that. Oh, he might have been too expensive nonsense. Start thinking like a championship club. You know, £5 million for a striker in the championship. It's not hideously expensive. I'm just still thinking like non-league guy. Oh, I'm excited. And Gallagher, goodness me. Brewster's getting all the praise at the moment, but Gallagher, from that left-hand side, he is involved in everything good that we do. Cross comes in, and this is where we've given away, for goodness sake. So now a red card and a penalty. We are just doing the best we can to throw this away, aren't we? There is the equaliser for Burnley. There are positives to come out of this. Remember, we weren't supposed to win this match, even with the new signings. We're not supposed to come away to Burnley and beat them. We're not even supposed to come here and survive with a point. We're supposed to come here and lose. It's not going to make any difference to whether we stay up or not, whether we lose this game or not. This is Burnley. We're obviously going to lose this one. This isn't where relegation or not is decided. But goodness me, is it frustrating to see us just combust when we've been playing so well. I've been talking positively about this defence. Maybe I need to change my attitude towards them a little bit. Maybe, I mean, they've been together a long time and the team's not been relegated in that time. But maybe the reason they've never made it up to mid-table is because this bunch of idiots are so accident prone. We are going to go back to a positive mentality now because we need to try and get back into the game. Although we're not banking on getting anything from a match like this, we've got to at least try to. We've got to try and get an equaliser. We've got to give these new attacking players. I mean, it's that's our new £9 million front three. It's not how they're going to play long term, but they are playing as the front three today. So let's get them the football as often as possible and see if they can make a difference between the three of them and maybe drag us back into the game. Clarkson with an interception there, and it's Brewster who's looking to find Gallagher. I'm struggling a little bit with the colour clash as a colour-blind person. I know those of you who can see in colour nicely, there's probably no clash between these kits. But for me, it's quite hard to differentiate between the two of them, which is why the commentary might be a smidgen off today. But Balcom lumping it forward, looking for Gallagher for that flick on again. How tall is Gallagher? He seems to win every flick on. And Brewster, has he scored again? What's happened there? He's offside again. He's hit that with some welly, hasn't he? I don't know if it ever even crossed the line. But I mean, that Brewster-Gallagher combination looks like it's going to be lethal against lesser teams than Burnley. How tall are you? 6 foot tall with a jumping reach of 14 and a heading of 6. How has he been so dominant in the air today? Very odd. Right, Gallagher is the one who's tiring, so we probably do need to take him off to save him for another day. So we'll bring Harrison Burrows on the left-hand side, and we're also going to shuffle things around a little bit in midfield. We're actually going to drop Anderson back into midfield. McCormick, in fact, can Anderson play as the playmaker in there? He doesn't want to. So we'll make McCormick the playmaker. Anderson can go box to box, and we're going to take off Clarkson and bring on I think we'll bring on John Jules, who did that one game we won. He scored a couple of goals in. So we'll get him on and see if he can provide a little bit of a spark of life for us today as well. To be only 2-1 down when we've played since the 10th minute with 10 men against the best team in the league, it's a sign of progress. We're going to take Brewster off as well now, just to save him, I think, more than anything. We're going to bring that guy on, stick John Jules up front, stick Nelson back up there, and just shuffle everyone else around. Because John Jules, when he scored his goals, was playing up front. I think we've played well today in the circumstances. And on another day, we might have got a little bit more luck. We might not have got the red card. We might not have given away the penalty. And then it would have been a very different result. I mean, we've just hit the crossbar now. Luck has not been with us today, but I think I've seen enough to feel that the signings are good and that we should be okay. Obviously, we can't be using that excuse and that script too often. We do need to start turning it around into some results, because that is now 7 league matches in charge, and I've lost 4 of those games. So as a Peterborough fan, I think I'd probably be questioning whether I've made any impact so far. But having seen those transfers and seen the impact they've had on that match, I think I'd be feeling quietly confident that we're probably going to be okay. We just need to start showing it quick. Let's go and stick 8 goals past Lincoln to make ourselves feel better. And in today's lesson, we learn why you don't put all your eggs in one basket, because the basket could get a calf strain and be out for 3 to 5 weeks. Wonder if that's what he did at Bournemouth, and that's why he only played 1 game, scoring 1 goal for them. Came in, grabbed his goal, became a hero, never played again because of injury. I don't even want to check. Okay, no, maybe that's not what he did there. Okay, I'll allow it. There is more ongoing transfer business. We have, I don't think I mentioned before, Nathan Bishop has gone to Chelsea for £45,000. Ridiculous. Chelsea just needed an English 5th choice goalkeeper, I guess. But he's gone there. We didn't really need him as a backup, so we've replaced him with a new backup, Matthew Cox, who we've brought in from Brentford. I mean, it's basically a like-for-like change. Kwame Poku went to Luton as well. That was a deal that was arranged before I arrived. I would have liked to have kept him. I actually played him, and he was quite good. So it's a bit of a shame that we're not going to get to use him. But he has left the club. We've also started a clear out as we try and create space for more players to come in. So Ben Christine, who came off the bench in the last game, he's gone to Doncaster on loan for the rest of the season. They're paying his full salary. Jack Simpson, one of our backup centre-backs, has gone to Blackpool for £575,000 at 30 years old. To get any money for him is fine as far as I'm concerned. Toby Collier, who never would have got in our team, he's gone to Forest Green in League One for £195,000. See, I say he never would have got in. Played 17 games before I arrived. Only 3 of them were starts, though. What a waste of money that signing was. But we've now brought in Anderson. We could afford to let a midfielder go, if not 2. It seems to be quite overloaded with average players in that position. And we're trying to bring in this guy, Mustafa Kilic, 6'4" centre-back. You've seen me play this game before, right? This is the one thing we're missing. We've got some good centre-backs. We don't have any massive centre-backs. So we're looking to bring this guy in. He's only 41% scouted, which is not ideal, but I saw 6'4" centre-back. That's just, there you go. And if we rank him according to the centre-backs we've got, Kitching and Hughes are ahead of him. Simpson's just left. He's better than Simpson, who's just left. And he's only 20 years old as well, so he's going to get better. So hopefully we can get him, but someone else is in for him. Millwall are in for him as well. So Millwall in the Championship too? I think we've played them, actually. I think they are. They're also in the relegation battle. So I guess it's the right kind of player we should be going for. We'll just see whether he chooses our relegation battle or their relegation battle. We're trying to shift some more players out as well in that midfield. If all these transfers go through, because a lot of the Kilic deal is on the never, we'll still have about £1.5 million of transfer budget, and we'll still have some decent spare wage budget as well. So there'll still be room to do more moves. So hopefully we get that one through soon, and then we can keep on plugging away. I think tomorrow's episode, we won't go that far into the future. We'll do the end of the transfer window. So I'll show you the Millwall game, because that's going to be a huge relegation 6-pointer. And at that point, you'll have seen who we've brought in. But this is the team for Lincoln. In fact, while we're looking at the FA Cup, shall we have a look to see how Leamington have been getting on? Because I know a lot of you, we're not going to do this every episode, but I know a lot of you are going to want to know. So their new manager is Gary Yates, formerly of Cheltenham and Notts County. He likes to play 4-2-3-1 wide, control possession. Since I left, that was where I left after the Spennymoor game. So they managed to get themselves knocked out of the FA Cup against South Shields, and then went 3 league games without a win, including losing 4-0 at home to Port Vale. It's all gone wrong. The new guy is in now and has beaten Notts County, but what was looking like a title race that we were in, I mean, to be fair, he's still only 1 point behind Port Vale. So our win against him would have put us top. That's a real shame. A real shame. Right. Let's play Lincoln in the FA Cup. Can I press? Is the button going to work? There you go. So we're going with Balcom in goal. A back four of Critchlow moving over to left back, because Ullman needs to go over to right back because Olasunde's suspended after his madness in the last game. Clarkson's also suspended as well. And of course, Brewster is now injured. So a little bit of a shake-up. So Critchlow, Kitching, Hughes and Ullman at the back. Shaw and Anderson together in midfield. Shaw is on his way out, hopefully. But we can play him today and hopefully bring another midfielder in. Gallagher, McCormick and Nelson as the attacking midfield 3, and John Jules up front. If you're wondering why I'm selling another midfielder that I've got to play, obviously Clarkson will be back in, and Radoni is nearly fit again. So once they're back in the mix, I just don't see that Shaw's going to get any games. So we may as well shift him out, make a squad space available, and try and bring somebody better in. That's the theme. We're not trying to sell any regular first team starters because we don't want to mess up team cohesion. We want to keep the good parts of the squad together. But there's a lot of these little 2.5-star current ability, 3-star potential ability, fringe players who've come in for cheap and never really got near the team. And it's like, well, let's bin them off. Let's get rid of them and bring in some players who at least got a little bit of upside. Bring in young players with 5-star potential. Bring in someone who can do a job now. Whatever it might be. I mean, I feel a little bit hard done by we've not won a penalty there. But Lincoln have got a man sent off. So we're now reverse situation of where we were in the last game, where we were down to 10 men from the 10th minute. And we're now playing against a team who were down to 10 men for almost the entire match. And they've nearly scored. They've just hit the post from a free kick. And now John Jules, big opportunity for him to have a little bit of a run of games with Brewster, going to be injured for a little while. John Jules is kind of playing for his Peterborough career here, because I am still of a mind at the moment that I probably need to bring in another striker to compete with Brewster. And I think probably all the strikers that we've got, none of them are good enough. But if he can prove to me that he is, he might end up being that striker that's there to compete with Brewster. Shaw gives the ball away in midfield and it's humped forward to Hughes, who brings it down nicely, playing it forward to Ullman. Ullman looking for options ahead of him, slots it into the path of Nelson, who's got John Jules in the middle. He finds him. It's a nice little cross, rolled across low, and John Jules is there to tuck away, and it is 1-0 to Peterborough in what is, I mean, it's not officially a derby game, Lincoln versus Peterborough, but they are one of the closest geographical teams to Peterborough. There's certainly a rivalry there, and it's always nice to go there and pick up a win, even if they're not in our league at the moment. I think Lincoln are in League One. But being down to 10 men makes the job, hopefully, that bit more doable. McCormick with the free kick from the wide area, but Kitchen can't keep his header down, and it remains 1-0 as we start to charge towards halftime. They have got a lot of fans through the door for this game. You can tell it means something to them as well. To have 12,000 fans in. I don't know what the average attendance is at Lincoln, but 12,000 feels high. This is where all the Lincoln fans are like, we get 12,000 week in, week out. Oh, sorry, Lincoln fans, I didn't know. It didn't feel like that big a ground last time I was there. Nelson crosses over to Gallagher, and there's Eric Gallagher showing his aerial prowess again. He's had it disallowed for offside, but for someone who's, what did we say he was? Only 5'10"? I think that was what we said. He certainly knows, he knows his way around the underside of a football. I mean, is that how you describe heading? He knows his way around the underside of a football. If that isn't like football speak for heading, being good at heading, it is now. I want to hear you all using it in everyday football chat. I want to see it on Twitter. If you see someone who's good in the air, I want people to be proclaiming, knows that boy knows his way around the underside of a football. Let's make it a thing. Oh, I love making things a thing. Right, McCormick back to Ullman from the throw, who of course is playing out of position on the right-hand side today. Anderson playing it over to Gallagher, the two new boys combining, and now Critchlow, who is a centre-back playing at left-back. He's looking like a left-back here. It's a lovely cross. Nelson's there, but his header is straight into the hands of the Lincoln goalkeeper. We could use a second goal here just to take a little bit of the pressure off. I want to be able to get Kitching off, really. He's not really fully fit to play 90 minutes, and if we can grab a second goal, I think we can take him off and spare him a little bit and save him for the next league game. But Lincoln are having none of it and are continuing to attack as if they've got 11 players on the pitch, which, quite frankly, offends me a little bit. But it is Lincoln with the corner. 30 minutes left in this match, and we need to defend this, and Kitching is there. That's why we can't take him off yet, because we need him for situations like that. But I think we probably are going to have to take it. I mean, to be fair, I say we're going to have to take him off. The physio said he could only do 75 minutes. I'm seeing him fine. He's just going to stay on. Watch him get injured now. Right, we're going to take Gallagher off. Assistant manager says bring on Omatoy. We'll bring on Omatoy then, who wants to be an inside forward on that left-hand side, which I can certainly accommodate. We don't really have anyone to bring on in the defence. We really need to sign that young defender we're trying to bring in. Harrison Burrows can play left wing back, though, so we'll bring him on for Critchlow. In fact, let's be sensible. Let's bring him on for Kitching, put Critchlow back to centre-back, and we'll do that. I will save arguably my best defender from picking up an injury, because it is only the FA Cup. If this was a league game and we were clinging on to 3 points away from home, then Kitching stays on. But I think I've got to try and be sensible. And for the final change, I'm going to put Anderson forward into the attacking midfield position to see what he's like there. And we're going to take off McCormick. Kyle Dempsey can come on in midfield. And we've now got a midfield two, both of which are likely to be leaving the club during this January transfer window. We're putting them in the shop window. That's not what we wanted. No, not what we wanted to see happen. Can we have this disallowed, please, referee? Yeah, I mean, the referee knows what's good for the series and has disallowed the goal, because a cup run will be nice. If we're having a season where we're just battling against relegation, a big cup tie, it keeps things fresh, doesn't it? While we're losing a lot of games, a nice cup tie, we all enjoy it. So we've got to stay in the FA Cup for a little bit. Although Lincoln really don't seem to be listening and are in behind again, and they've now hit the post. Lincoln will feel hard done by here, similar to how I felt after the Burnley game, really. They've been down to 10 men for a lot of the game and have played really well. And you got to believe if they'd have had 11 players on the pitch, they probably beat us today, which is a little alarming. And we need to rush Brewster back from his injury. We looked a different team with him up front leading the line. We haven't really had that today with John Jules up there, despite him grabbing the goal. The whole attack hasn't looked as threatening as it did when Gallagher and Brewster were linking up so brilliantly over and over again against Burnley. But ultimately, especially for a club in our position, a win is a win. We're in the hat for the fourth round of the FA Cup, and there's hopefully more signings on the way as we continue to rebuild this club. We wanted this guy but couldn't afford his wages. We were in for him, but he's gone to Newcastle instead, which is frustrating because I bet he doesn't even play for them. It'll be like Anderson. He'll just be a squad player at Newcastle. Is that what they've listed him as? How can we see what his happiness? Do we not get to see what they've told him he's going to be? I don't suppose we would. Well, we were going to have him as a key player, but we couldn't offer him the kind of money he wanted. Right, Barron's on his way out. And we now continue to fiddle with transfers. We'll play a couple more games and we'll be back tomorrow to meet any other new signings and hopefully continue to push up away from this relegation zone. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. Thank you very much for watching.